to introduce the president of the Student Government Board here at the Liston Campus, Mike Palazzullo. And Michael is going to get us started. Mike?
Good morning. My name is Mike Palazzullo. I am the president here at Student Body for the Providence Campus. By the power vested in me as president of the Student Body of the Providence Campus of Community College of Rhode Island, I declare 2015 Cultural Awareness Day officially open.
Please stand.
Order all about face.
Both of our color guard members are students and veterans of the wars and things of that nature in the Near East, and we're so proud of them. Thank you again. You may have noticed that President Mike, the Student Government Board president, was jubilant and very, very much in a good humor. And the reason he was in a very good humor, he received word a couple days ago that he's been accepted to the prestigious and highly competitive nursing program at CCRI. Please let him know that we're proud of him too. Two more students are now on the agenda. Victoria Jessup, a voice student, and another voice student that may be familiar to some of you, but his name is Anthony Rodriguez, or Tony Rodriguez. He was in our first cultural awareness program 7 years ago. He represented Cape Verde, but he also sang the Star Spangled Banner. He's going to reprise that right now by singing the Star Spangled Banner with Victoria. Please welcome them and listen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
things we're educating is cultural differences and how we should applaud them and how we should appreciate them and how we should be very, very understanding if they happen to be a little different. In Colombia, South America, they don't do what you just did. They don't clap like that. They put their thumb and the middle finger together and they snap. And they do it loudly. And that lets people know that they're very happy. Let's hear you do that for me. Louder, a little louder. Great. And let's put that into practice and welcome our president, Ray Di Pasquale, the Colombian way.
Hey, Walter, you ready for Walter? Good morning, everybody. And what a pleasure to see everyone. Before I make just a few brief remarks, I want to introduce and just say a couple thank yous to some people. One, obviously the committee, but one to Walter in particular. As you know, retired from the university, great background, and he's been here part-time, supposed to work for 19 hours a week. He works about 70 hours a week. He gives me his heart and his soul, but more importantly, what he does is gives a tremendous dedication to our students here. And for that, Walter, on behalf of the college, I want to thank you personally and thank you for doing this as well. Walter, thank you. In a few minutes, I'll be introducing the Mayor of Providence, but before I do that, let me acknowledge him here on stage and tell him welcome back to where you got your start. And it's because of CCRI, there's no doubt in my mind that he became mayor. So welcome. This truly is one of the events that we look so forward to each and every year because it's a day we come to celebrate our differences, which might include traditions, music, food, as well as recognizing our similarities, which could be our passion for education, our desire to help each other, and just the fact that we are the parts that make up the whole of the Community College of Rhode Island family. I truly believe that a diverse community is a stronger one, a better one. And I know that's what I know is best for our community, as diverse as we are. Remember that today we're 37% minority students, the largest minority population of any college in Rhode Island, and it continues to grow. As American activist Cesar Chavez once said, and I quote, "We need to help students and parents cherish and preserve the ethnic and cultural diversity that nourishes and strengthens this community and this nation," end of quote. And he is absolutely right. As I stated, we are a community made up of many faces. The numbers are truly incredible for a community college in such a small state. It says a lot about who we are as an institution. We have approximately 1,500 students with citizenships from other countries that span far and wide across the globe, from Cuba to Cambodia, from Guatemala to Ghana, and Iceland to Laos. In addition to the nearly 100 countries represented at CCRI, we also have a strong Native American population with nearly 100 Native American students. When we step out of this room a little later, we will be surrounded by dozens of flags of the many countries representing our student body. And there will be a special surprise presentation from the Narragansett Nation in just a few minutes. And again, I want to call attention to Walter. Those flags that represent about half of the countries that are represented at CCRI are up there because of the passion and the desire for Walter to have those up. The only reason they're there is because Walter pushed it, and thank you, Walter, for that. So on behalf of the entire college, welcome. Thank you for this Cultural Diversity Day, and have a wonderful experience as we experience each and other's differences in culture and celebrate what we are as a community college of Rhode Island. Thank you all. Walter?
Our first student speaker is from Guatemala. in Central America. And her name is Tanya Hernandez. She's Vice President of Marketing at the Student Government Board here. And she's an all-around good student, but she wants to share with you what it's like to live in Guatemala and to come here. Tanya?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Well, my name is Tanya Hernandez, and I am from El País de la Primavera Eterna, which translates to the country of eternal spring. As you can already guess, it's always spring there. We don't really have all these cold winters that snow for days on end. We just have rain, which I would honestly prefer. Because of the weather there, agriculture is always a popular thing. So that's why you would see, if you would ever go to the country, which I highly recommend, you'll always see these beautiful open markets with vendors that have things that they actually grow on their own land, such as mangoes, limes, anything you could possibly really want. And most of the things that we do, our culture, our custom derives actually from the Mayans, because they were the first people actually on our land, up until the Spaniards came and showed us how to do things better. So if you would ever go there, you would see there are cities. I am from the capital city, Guatemala City, but if you would go to the smaller towns, you'll see that it's not as modern as it would be here. People still live in little villages, pushing wagons and stuff like that. Everybody basically has their own farm. It's really odd if you don't. And the people there are just genuinely very friendly. They will always greet you. They're very neighborly. They're like family. And everybody always has a big family. You can have one of your neighbors celebrating their child's birthday, and they'll invite like the whole town, which I miss. My dream one day is to graduate from medical school and be a doctor in my own country to help my people actually better themselves and make sure they're healthy, because they're my people, they're my family. So, thank you.
President DePasquale has inscribed messages in dictionaries for each student speaker, and he's going to present them personally to each speaker. So Tanya's getting hers now. Thank you, Tanya. Our next student speaker has roots in West Africa, Cape Verde Islands. He's also part Native American. And here at CCRI, Liston Campus, he helped organize a multicultural club that helps us plan events like this, because they all believe that people ought to work and play together. Please welcome from Cape Verde, Jamari Lopes.
Good morning, faculty, students, guests. My name is Jamari Lopes. I am the current president of the Multicultural Association for Liston Campus. And I'm honored to be here by ways of Dr. Crocker's affection towards culture, towards different cultures, traditions, and exposure of those cultures. Like Dr. Crocker, I believe a person's culture says a lot about them, a lot about their morals, strengths, and how they view themselves. And with that being said, being Cape Verdean descent and Native American descent, both of those cultures have faced a lot of hardships, as well as any other culture, with Cape Verde having to fight for their independence and Native Americans to fight for their land. So by culture, I'm naturally a fighter to go get what it is that I feel like I deserve and what it is that I want. And I wanted to do this today, so I fought all the anxiety and all the pressure and everything else just to do this one speech in front of all these beautiful people from different cultures and different backgrounds. And I just wanted to say thank you, Dr. Crocker, Mike, for supporting me and helping me with this speech and giving me pointers. Have a good one.
Our third and last student speaker is from Cambodia. And in Cambodia, Thomas Chin was a motivational speaker, but it wasn't in English. And so he's not going to do a motivational speech for you in English. But he is also a computer wizard, and he put together a video about Cambodia that will almost make you cry. It'll also make you smile, and it's a tribute to his country and his culture that he wanted to share this with you.
Very good morning, everyone here. How are you today? Good. Really good? Good. Okay. So today I'm really pleased to be here, telling you guys my name is Tomit and I come from Cambodia, which is the country in Asia. And today, instead of talking about Cambodia culture, I will give you a lucky prize together for a ticket to visit Cambodia. You want that? Are you ready to go with me? Yes. So here we go. All right.
He was a motivational speaker.
All right, so please enjoy the Cambodia culture video that made by me, and I hope you fly to Cambodia with me right now. Enjoy that.
He is good.
Thank you so much. You love that? Yes. You really want to go with me? Yes. I will be free in this month. All right, before I get off this stage, may I have said something? Today I come here to represent for Cambodia. I don't want to really mean to scream out loud that my Cambodia culture is the best, because American cultures, Dominican Republic culture, Spanish culture, and all of your cultures are phenomenal, right? Yes. You know why? Because of the reason my culture is the best than yours, or yours is the worst, that bring a lot of war and arguments to everywhere on earth in this entire world. So, everyone in here today, even you guys are being safe. But you know, there are many other places out of here are in the war. So what can we do? Everybody wants peace, everybody wants equality, but no one is parity. So how it can happen? I told you today, everything will happen. It starts from you in here. You can see why people can live together because of love. So why you can love American culture, why we cannot love Asian culture, why we cannot love Spanish culture and all cultures and respect to all of them. Today, you and me and everybody else see our ancestors made a lot of kinds, made a lot of varieties of cultures. But why our generation, the technology generation, can even make one culture together, the culture of love, for our next generation? Can we? Yes. Thank you so much. So, yeah. So finally, I really thanks to Dr. Clark Walker and also the president of CCRI, Dr. Ray Pascal, that you have made this program happen. This program so that we are the same. We are in one world together, right? Yes. So, finally, I hope and I don't think that my words can hear by all people. And even if all you guys hear, but I'm not sure that all you guys will understand what I'm saying. But if one of you in here can pursue what I said today, I think my simple words will make a big change and a big improvement to the world. Thank you.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul, in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. In my soul.
So it truly is my pleasure and honor to introduce someone very important to this state, to the City of Providence, and certainly to CCRI. In fact, I'm proud to say he's part of CCRI's history. He grew up in the capital city's West End. He graduated from Classical High School, started his college career at the Community College of Rhode Island, and then successfully transferred to URI's Talent Development Program. After working on Wall Street, he earned his law degree from Harvard University. Since then, he has been a man dedicated to helping others. After returning to Providence, he provided free counseling to families living in substandard housing and facing eviction. Then he joined the faculty at Roger Williams Law School, specializing in housing law. And while there, he litigated public interest cases and co-founded the Latino Policy Institute, a think tank dedicated to research on Latino and minority communities in Rhode Island. In 2010, he was appointed to the Providence Housing Court, on which he served until 2013. In January, he took office as Providence 38th Mayor. I'm proud to work with him. I'm proud to call him one of ours. And ladies and gentlemen, please give our mayor, Mayor Elorza, a wonderful CCRI welcome.
Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you, President, for the introduction. Thank you, Director, for such a great program and for investing in our students and for recognizing the value of diversity here at CCRI and throughout. I also want to say congratulations to each of the very worthy students who received the recognition today. We have Guatemala, we have Cape Verde, and we have Cambodia represented. Three very important cultures to our city. So congratulations to you and for being such great ambassadors for your countries, for your cultures, and for CCRI. Please, another warm round of applause for our recognition. I also want to say congratulations and your acceptance into the very competitive nursing program to student body president, and also congratulations to that inspiring story that we see from Jean. And I think that these are these small stories that the entire city, the entire state, and frankly the entire world needs to hear so much about. Often I hear about CCRI, and unfortunately we still think of community college as, if you couldn't go down this route, you have this option. But the truth is that, our lives don't work in a linear way. They always don't work from one step to the next. And we need bridges such as CCRI to help connect us to, all of the capacity and world of opportunities that we have before us. And I say that because I speak from firsthand experience. I am very, very proud, and I say it very often, I'm very, very proud to have been a former student here at CCRI. I have to admit that I didn't graduate, I didn't get my associate's degree, but that's because I had phenomenal supporters here who helped me transfer to the University of Rhode Island after 1 year. And so even though I didn't get my associate's degree, I had a wonderful first year here, and I'll say it and I'll continue to say it until everyone knows that if it wasn't for a place to bridge my education like CCRI and to provide the supports that I needed in order to make that transition into a 4-year college, I don't know that I would have gone to college, and I really don't know where my life would be right now. But I was given that opportunity, and those opportunities were open for me. And take it from someone who barely graduated from high school, someone who was rejected from every university that I applied to. I went on to CCRI to graduate first in my class in college, to graduate from Harvard Law School, to become a judge and the mayor of the city of Providence. Take it from me, I truly do believe that every single one of our children, regardless of who they are and where they come from, every single one of our children has the capacity to be great. And it's our job and it's our responsibility to open those doors and to give them that chance. And that's what CCRI does every single day. So thank you, Director, and thank you, President, for opening those doors for so many people. And I'd like to share with you a little bit about my story and how it ties into celebrating the culture that we have around us. I think that for so many of us, being successful doesn't occur in spite of our cultural heritage. But I truly do believe that it happens because of our cultural heritage. And I'd like to give you one small example from my family. My parents are immigrants to this country. They came from Guatemala. They came from Guatemala, just like Tanya's family. And I'm not afraid to admit that they came to this country. They were undocumented when they first came over. They've since become United States citizens. And from the moment that I can remember remembering, I've heard the message of work hard, be humble, educate, and never forget where you came from. Right? These principles, I truly do believe that these principles, they are at the heart of what it means to be American. Not just a global citizen, but American. And so I know that immigrants bring these American principles to this country on a yearly basis. And my parents worked hard, but they worked at factories. And there's only so much you can do at the factories to get ahead. And no matter how hard they worked, how much overtime they took, it often felt like they were running in place. But even though they knew that it was going to be hard for them to get ahead, they still kept at it with their persistence and dedication, because they weren't working for themselves. They left Guatemala, left everything behind to come to this country for the sole reason of giving my little sister and I a better life. That's the reason they sacrificed everything for. So even they worked arduous hours, they knew that they were paving the path for my sister and I to come ahead. And I have to admit that I always didn't heed their advice. And I wasn't the most applied, the most mature, and the most dedicated student. And so when I graduated from high school, no one accepted me. I knew that I had capacity, I knew that I could do it, but I had never shown it to the world until CCRI gave me that opportunity to truly show what I can contribute and what I could do. They provided not only a challenging environment, but a supportive environment. So that balance between challenging us and supporting us. So I received a great year of education here and was pushed to take on the next task of moving on to a four-year college. And with the help of folks such as Stephanie Cruz from the EOC office, who is still here at CCRI, can I get a clap for Stephanie Cruz? I saw her poke her head in a little earlier. I'm sure she's back to work. I'm sure she's helping to counsel another student at this moment. So with the help of the support such as that, I was connected with the talent development program, and Stephanie always told me, set your goals high, achieve beyond that, and then set your goals even higher. And those are lessons that I've carried with me every single day. Now, I could have never imagined that I would be here today, but I trace being here to those roots that were inculcated to me from my family. They came here with nothing, yet aspired for a better world and aspired for a better life. The recipe for them achieving a better life was those principles that I mentioned: working hard, that dedication, that commitment to your family and to your community, and the persistence that regardless of what kind of obstacle you're confronted with, you're going to find a way. You're going to find a way to overcome it. That's the immigrant spirit. And those immigrants that come to this country, they pass that down to their children. There's that direct link to that spirit that regardless of what you're faced with, you're going to overcome that challenge. I'm sure each of the awardees would nod their heads and agree with me on that point. That there's something special about being an immigrant. Being an immigrant is not a deficit. You have this rich cultural history that allows you to succeed and move ahead. So, for example, from a very early age, I learned to speak Spanish, and I would always in my household hear my parents and my family talk about Guatemala and talk about our family behind, and every once in a while we'd get on the phone and talk to them as well. And so even as a small child, I grew up with the understanding that there's a whole rest of the world that exists out there. And I felt a connection to it. And so when I had my first opportunity to travel on my own, I spent about 3 months traveling through Latin America. I probably would have never done it had I not had that had I not known Spanish and had I not felt that link to Latin America. And so I traveled through Latin America, and that opened the door. And now I've traveled to almost 20 countries throughout the world, not just Latin America, but also Asia, parts of Europe, Sub-Saharan Africa, Muslim Africa, and it's my goal to travel to many more. And as I've campaigned for mayor, the theme, the slogan of my campaign was one Providence where we all come together. And as I was out in different neighborhoods, I felt that I could connect with whoever I was talking to. Whether you're rich, poor, tall or short, black or white, young or old, I felt that I could connect. And the reason for that is because I've had an opportunity to experience cultures from throughout the world and gain friends and have that cultural understanding, so that these barriers that we place between us that are a result of sometimes nothing more than a lack of understanding and a lack of exposure. My immigrant background, my cultural background, helped me overcome them and helped me break them down. And so that's why I truly do believe that celebrating culture should be at the heart of what we do throughout our universities and our city. Because time and time again, when kids succeed, they're not succeeding in spite of their culture and their immigrant roots. They're succeeding because of their culture and because of their immigrant roots. So this is a wonderful celebration to have here in our city and here at CCRI. I am honored to be here as your mayor and to be here as a member of the dais, today. And if there's one message that we can all walk away from right now, is first of all that every single one of our children has the capacity to reach great heights, and those great heights that they're going to achieve are only enhanced and are only improved by having that deep, deep connection to where they come from and those cultural ties that makes us all unique, but also makes us all special. Thank you all so much for having me here today. It's been a pleasure to be here, and let's keep celebrating culture throughout our city. Have a good afternoon, everybody.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of rain, for purple mountains' majesty above the fruited plain. America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good